Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous, with me, Bring It On. Let's grab Daeran so we can enter Heaven's Edge. And we'll level him up. Gets nothing at level 8. Yeah, we'll put the rest of the points into Charisma. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World. Use Magic Device. Summon Monster 4. And to Heaven's Edge. Count Eriday's family estate. The manor was abandoned after a tragic event claimed the lives of everyone inside in a single day. Happy to serve you, Knight Commander.
I'm gone.
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older, and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is.
Daeran's face is impossible to read. He has his usual half-smirk fixed in place, his eyes gleaming with excitement. But his anxious gaze wanders for just a moment too long before he begins his speech.
The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul. You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
Daeran smirks, finishes his wine, and tosses the glass to the ground. How interesting. Inquisitor Leota whispers in your ear from behind. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing really. I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, two people noted that he never speaks of the Reverend Nestrin, the priest of Iomedae who was his guardian and tutor. By the revered, I think I said Reverend. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. He told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Daeran over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves, or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him, and encourages them to use their magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole of Mendev knows a story about the 3 drunk wizards and the teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. It wasn't a matter of the abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count hoping for a ransom, but the only reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into the case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats. But there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads, after they had already killed them. Their heads were cut off. I mean the bandits who attacked Daeran. Yes. Perhaps I wouldn't have even noticed this detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic incident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Daeran joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now I have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at that tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is to distract the master of the house. Right now he is playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. So how do I distract him? I don't know. Maybe your companions can assist you somehow. Or you can take a look around. Perhaps there's something that can help us. I understand. Good luck. Come back to me when the Count leaves. I'll tell you everything I managed to find out, maybe even show you something. So Daeran tells that story about him being kidnapped and then rescued as a ruse that he set up. But that could be a cover? People bring that up a lot for saying that's why Daeran's evil. But with that little snippet we just got, it's possible he was actually kidnapped by bandits, and the other killed those bandits, and he came up with a whole other story just to cover it up so that no one finds out about it. What's up, Social? I can imagine how lovely this manor must have been before the war. I yearn to set up my easel in one of the pleasant little alcoves and paint to my heart's content. The decorative plants are in a miserable state. They've been neglected for many years. I've been wanting to come here for many years. It feels odd to finally see your dream come true. I'd call it your dream to come back here.
We do it my way.
I somehow landed at the party of a royal brat. Go figure. You never know when, or if, you'll get another chance to rest and have some fun during wartime. I'd rather take my chance while I can.
Follow if you
Speak to
dare.
Daeran last. I adore this estate. So much beauty, so many quiet nooks. This estate could be remade into a formidable defensive outpost. It should be expropriated for the sake of the war effort, and the owners compensated, after victory is secured. What's nice of him to want to compensate the owners at least. So I could choose this now, possibly fail the check, because it's only me in the party. I don't think my companions make any rolls here. We can come back later as well. But when I do, I'll probably forget to come back and do this, so.
Ugh, what a failure.
The brickwork looks strangely uneven.
I'm off.
The door is sealed and looks like it hasn't been open in a very long time.
I do what I must.
There's a perception check in here. It's a very high DC. I may have already
I'm gone.
They're popping up for me.
There's something here.
It seems there's a hidden cache inside the wall. You can see a keyhole among the decoration. That's tied to Daeran's romance. I've read this book already. I don't know if we've read that one yet. Alright, so we get a ton of diamond dust here. This will last us for quite some time. We also got clear purpose. These bracelets allow the wearer to cast healing spells without provoking attacks of opportunity. They also grant a +2 bonus on concentration checks. That could be good on Socio or Daeran. Let's go and read these. The Legend of the Pathfinder by Aaron Rorvey. The door flung open. The three chaps sharing adventure stories fell silent. "Hail, friend," said the visitor in a deep voice. "Have you got a room for me, master?" The bored half-elf behind the counter peered into the visitor's face and whistled. "Blimey, if it isn't Gregis Jeffs. Hail, friend. Let me give you a room. Your gold is no good here." "No, I'll pay for it in full. That's what the society is for. Helping and sharing." Gregis nods at the three chaps. "So there's my replacement. Have you had the confirmation yet?" "We've got one last trial to go," the youngest blurted out and popped up from his chair. "It's such an honor. I've read all the chronicles, all about your adventures." "I heard you joined the Decemvirate," Gregis, another uttered. "Oh, did you? You should cut off your ears then. They deceive you. Am I wearing a mask?" "You ain't." "Good for you. A Pathfinder with no eyes is no good. I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in seeking. So, are you gonna pour me beer?" Say beer? And I'll tell you a couple of tales. In 1,000 Revolutions. We may have read this one already, but we'll read it again. "For the third night in a row, I've dreamt of the Grey Gardeners knocking at my door. I cannot believe it is my turn. To be cut down by a blade washed in the blood of 1,000 revolutions, as a wave of popular outrage washes over me, as my head tumbles down the steps of the scaffold. We take up the sword, and by it we shall perish. Once we struck down the Imperial scum, but now it is we who must face the blade. The insurgent beast called revolution will never be sated. It needs new victims. This time, it's my comrades and I. The cruelty of the hoarders in power echoes in the cruelty of the paupers, now intoxicated by their own freedom. We wanted change. Well, here it is. This is a country now of mad fanatics, fighting their treacherous past every day. Former friends are today's foes. My workshop has been converted into a secret headquarters. If I could do it all over again, I'd repair it to my easel, refrain from the cause that has sent me down this path. Oh, and level our body up too. Alright, so Regil as a Hell Knight gets a Force of Will. At 3rd level, a Hell Knight gains a +2 bonus on will saves against spells with any one of the following sub-schools or descriptors: Charm, Compulsion, Fear. At 6th level, the Hell Knight chooses another sub-school or descriptor from the list and gets a +2 bonus on his will save against spells of that type. And the bonus provided by his first selection increases to +4. At 9th level, he chooses from the list again, and both previous selections increase by +2, so he has a +6, a +4, and a +2 bonus, respectively, against spells of 3 different groups. And disciplines. At 3rd level, a Hell Knight gains access to his first discipline. At 6th level, the Hell Knight gains a second discipline. At 9th level, the Hell Knight gains his third discipline. When applicable, the save DC to resist a discipline's effect is equal to DC 10 plus the Hell Knight's level plus his charisma modifier. The Hell Knight can use any one discipline a number of times per day equal to the total number of disciplines he has access to. At 3rd level, he can use his discipline once per day. At 6th level, he can use both disciplines twice per day each. At 9th level, he can use all 3 of his disciplines 3 times per day. I'll boost his wisdom. Knowledge Arcana, Lore Religion. So the least valuable one is Fear. So you want to take that one last because you don't need the +2 bonus, but If there was one you only wanted a +2 for, it'd be fear. Because you have so many ways to be immune to fear and boost your saving throws against fear effects. So I actually think Compulsion is the most valuable one, followed by Charm. And for his disciplines, I like the ones that boost his Smite Chaos. So Sensor's pretty good. Onslaught would be great if he was a strength-based character, but he is a dexterity-based character. He can get a domain here, and I do think that... Is it War Domain? Yeah, it gives him a bonus combat feat. So I might go ahead and grab this. I also like Wreck. So Shackle's not that great. I don't care about stopping most enemies from moving. Let's do a War Domain. You're a Crusader for your god, always ready and willing to fight to defend your faith. A Battle Rage. You can touch a creature as a standard action to give it a bonus on melee damage rolls equal to half your level in the class that gave you access to this domain for 1 round, minimum +1. You can do so a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your Wisdom modifier. The domain spells Bless, Aid, Magical Vestment, Divine Power, Flame Strike, Blade Barrier, Power Word Blind, Power Word Stun, and Power Word Kill. But more importantly, it gets the bonus combat feat. Alright, Nenio gets access to Invisibility Field. At 8th level, you can make yourself invisible as a swift action for a number of rounds per day equal to your wizard level. These rounds do not need to be consecutive, it otherwise functions as Invisibility Greater. And Intelligence. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Lore Nature, Lore Religion. Invisibility Greater, and Rainbow Pattern. Ember gets a new Hex. A bonus to her Wisdom and her Will saves. Knowledge Arcana, Lore Religion, and use Magic Device. Protective Luck is pretty good. The Witch can cause fate to twist so that it benefits a creature within 30 feet for 1 round. Whenever that creature is targeted by an effect that requires an attack roll, including weapon attacks, the attacker must roll twice and take the worst result. At 8th level and at 16th level, the duration of this hex is extended by 1 round. The Witch cannot use this ability on herself. Hexes that affect the Fortune Hex, such as Cackle, also affect Protective Luck. And we'll grab Confusion here. Camellia also gets a Hex. I could turn her to a fighter going forward. I have everything that I want, but I'm not too worried about it. I will point to Charisma here. Ability and Trickery. I might do Ward. Battle Ward might be worth it too. Yeah, because Ward is a... deflection bonus. Or we just do Protective Luck again. Let's do that instead. Alright, then we get Weapon Specialization from taking the Battlemaster Hex. And Rapier. Alright, we're all caught up.
We do it my way.
Countess Selena Nevia Dara Arende with her infant son Daeran. Unlike typical aristocratic portraits, this one depicts a young mother having fun with her child on a seesaw. Music in here is loud. I don't like it here. This party is stupid. The psychological premise for mortals' attraction to sites of mass murder or gluttony. Which article from my encyclopedia should I focus on now? So that's how the Mendevian nobles live. Are their latrines adorned with gold and diamonds like people say?
Follow if you dare.
Oh, it's you. Do you remember me? I called upon you to save the Count in Canabris. Everything here is just so sparkly. I'm just gonna take a look at this thing and put it right back. Honest. The door is sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time.
I'm off.
Daeran has been watching the guest with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's continuing a conversation that was interrupted. I've always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought, I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row, and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. Now I'll be darned if I don't know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the companion of a hero chosen by Amadei? Perhaps this is your chance to finally do something worthwhile. What do you want me to do then? Dance a waltz on Dresden's ramparts with a charming courtesan? Sounds worthwhile to me. Tell me more about Heaven's Edge. This estate was once a truly beautiful sight, with its lush gardens and placid ponds. Daeran smiles briefly. It is a genuine smile, quite different from his usual half-smirk. The house itself is not that large, however. This land was part of the border region even before the World Wound, so my ancestors took that into account when laying the foundations. The larger the mansion, the harder it is to defend. I'd gladly give you a tour. I'm afraid there's not much to see here. I didn't have much time, so my servants only managed to clean up this yard, the Great Hall, and a couple of rooms. There's nothing interesting about them except, perhaps, the magical firefighting system powered by water elementals. I'm not sure it's still functional, though. So why did you really decide to throw a party at the scene of such a tragedy? What's this ghoulish farce all about? Daeran freezes. What an odd feeling. It's like I've been lying under the sun in a spectacular meadow in full bloom. And then you barge in to pour a bucket of ice-cold water all over me. Is this how you treat people who invite you to their celebrations? No, you don't have to answer. I could come up with a polite excuse. I'd rather match your courteous manners and put it bluntly. I do not wish to continue this conversation. Thank you for ruining my mood. I shall retire to my chambers for a time. The Count gives you a pointedly formal bow and leaves. Yeah, that was a little harsh. But I'd never taken that option before, so I gave it a shot. It's alright, we can make up for that later. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I'll unravel the past of this place, and try to show you whatever I find. Hum of voices, laughter, and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, before eventually coalescing to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you who she is. The family resemblance to Daeran is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day my only, precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, we allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests and the man of the hour as well. A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with a strong, dignified posture and a voice that emanates power. Could we just have one day without your sermons? It's my birthday after all. 10 years ago, young Daeran had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lacked the dignity of a true angel, however. Day, I'm sure the revered Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what's that noise? The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. In the vision, the Lelidu appears before the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted to. Hey you, doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers all you want. But they're not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I'll give you a chance to see it for yourselves. And when I return, the grave realization will have already sunk its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss at Daeran, making him freeze in horror, and disappears. The other shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temples. The first appearance of the disease and the Lelidu, one of the many sisters of the accursed Minago. So far everything I've seen matches the official version of events. Who are the people in the vision? Countess Selena Arendelle was Daeran's mother, and one of the most beautiful women in the history of Mendev. She was an Aasimar, just like her son. The old man was the esteemed cleric Nestrin, our count's guardian and tutor. He was well known for his unfaltering faith and iron will. I was only passing acquaintances with him, so I can't tell you anything more than that. I didn't recognize the others, but Daeran told me that the first victims of the disease were his second cousin and the cousin's wife, hailing from the eastern border. Surely the cleric could have done something. I can't say for certain, but I believe there is nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now I must find out what happened next. What now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is there, and distract them if need be. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we'll lure Daeran out of his room and continue the investigation into Heaven's Edge. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.